Hi, this is Light of the Lantern Tarot. Welcome, or welcome back if you've already been here. Today's reading is about how these times we're living in are extremely chaotic and moving very quickly. And the cards will tell you a way to restabilize your energy to get through this period with more ease. I've drawn 3 cards, card 1, card 2, and card 3. This is card 1. This is card 2. And this is card 3. There's also a charm for each card. The first card has the star charm. The second card has the heart that says love on it. And the third card has the umbrella. I don't know if you can see this. Let's see here. In the event that you'd like to choose your reading also according to your zodiac signs, I'll draw 4 signs for each card. The first card is Cancer, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Aries. The second card reading will be Scorpio, Leo, Virgo, and Pisces. And the third card reading will be Gemini, Sagittarius, Taurus, and Libra. So please choose your reading or readings according to which card or cards resonate with you the most, whether it be aesthetically or through your intuition, or whether you'd prefer to choose by your zodiac signs, sun, moon, and rising, or the charms selected. You'll find the timestamps for each reading listed below in the description box. Please feel free to watch as many as you'd like, and if they don't resonate with you, you're free to leave them, no pressure. So I'll see you in your readings. Hi, card choice number 1. You've chosen this adorable card, which says Strength Under Fire. It's the third decan of Leo. And the third decan of Leo, I have my card here that explains, has to do with being under pressure, daunting challenges, and resilience. Right away, you can see this little hedgehog who clearly knows how to protect itself. Whenever it is in danger, it basically curls up in a ball with its little spines facing outward and stays very still, waiting for the danger to pass. The 5-pointed star to me is a symbol of balance, in that it represents the 4 elements and the element of spirit as well. So earth, air, fire, water, and spirit. And with balance comes harmony, and we're always stronger and more able to deal with the challenges that come our way. So I feel that that's a supportive message. Okay, so I'd like to get out some more oracle cards, and then we'll move into the tarot to elaborate on our message today about how you can restabilize yourself in this chaotic time that we're in. Okay, so I'd like to draw a couple of cards from this deck. Oh wow, one already jumped out. Miracles, beautiful. And I see this one as well. We'll leave it face down for now. Spirit, I'd like to get a card from this deck, please. I'm actually feeling this one. Okay. I'd like to get one of these. Okay, that's our card. One of these. They're jumping today, aren't they? And I'd also like to get one of these. Okay. Okay, so let's have a look at what we got. The first card was Miracles, the rainbow. That's very pretty. And it's a great message that sometimes it doesn't take necessarily our efforting in order to restabilize a situation. Miracles can come about if we trust in the universe, so that's beautiful. The next card was Abundance. Well, that's great. We can remember that abundance is going to always be available to us, possibly if we believe in miracles, if we remind ourselves to believe in miracles. Okay, then we had Show the World the Real You. This card is coming out a lot lately in my readings. And I think that we're really moving into a time where it's important for us to navigate our life with integrity according to our sense of truth and not wear the mask that society has been asking us to wear for hundreds or thousands of years now. It's really important to start understanding who we are and what our strengths are and act according to that, our own truth, instead of according to these expectations of society around us. So it's a really great message. Then we have Forest, Finding the Path. Okay, beautiful. I would venture to say that it's probably more or less the same thing. Slowly trying to understand who we are and navigate our life according to this sense of inner strength. I'd like to read from the booklet though, just to get a little more info. Let's see what this card says. Okay. Forest, Finding the Path. The forests of Northern Europe fairy tales are dark, dangerous places, abundant with disconcerting shadows and populated by tightly packed trees. They represent a world beyond the village, the community. An other world steeped in myth and magic, which lies outside of the normal human experience. Usually, the dark wood is the home of the witches and monsters, personifying the fears of the collective unconsciousness. Well, I can already see that it's explaining that it's looking at the theme of how the collective is moving through a time right now that is really, really scary and really unsettling and really chaotic. And that has an effect on us for sure, considering we're a part of the collective. When you enter the forest, you're accepting the inevitability of transformation. Something is going to change. Something may be lost, but something, if you embark on the journey with a true heart and a willingness to learn, will also be gained. This card invites you to trust in the bone-deep alchemy of metamorphosis and to take the plunge into the unknown. Once you find yourself caught up in the formidable entanglements of the forest, it's not always clear, especially when choices have to be made, which path you should take. Often it's the overgrown path, the one which looks to be the darkest, the least promising, which will lead you to what you're looking for. And sometimes there's no obvious path at all, and you're forced to forge your own way through the trees. Okay, to me, this card is reiterating the stress and pressure we're under, and also the feeling of not knowing exactly where we're going, because it's impossible to understand right now. If we look at what's happening around us, it looks like everything's crumbling to the ground, and in fact, it kind of is, because it needs to in order to be rebuilt in a new way. But because of this, and even if we're visionary ourselves, like even if we can see a beautiful future and we're trying to work toward that, it's really, really unsettling and kind of scary, actually, because we're not exactly positive of how it will turn out. And the consequences are so big. They seem so big. It seems like as time goes by, we get less and less safe. So that's really, really unsettling. But we really need to remind ourselves to believe in ourselves and to believe in the help from the universe, from miracles and whatnot, and remind ourselves that good times are ahead. We just need to believe. That's really what it boils down to. Okay, we have intuition and downloads. Again, we need to try to stay open to our guidance, because we have guidance. We have plenty of guidance. It's just a matter of quieting ourselves down if we're capable and trying to see what messages come to us, even if they're extremely subtle, or what synchronicities present us with. Okay, then we have, let's see here, the old one, the ancestors call. Okay, can you see that? Okay, the ancestors call, seek their wisdom. Okay, this looks like a being from another dimension, considering it has Aries horns and just it looks a little bit hybrid, but it's very shamanic, I would say, or elemental in the sense. And I think this can be interpreted as it's stabilizing for our human race to remember our place in nature and remember our past, in the sense of the fact that it was much more connected to nature and the elements than it is nowadays, now that technology has really taken over. And technology can be a beautiful thing, but it's very helpful for us to remember how life was very different in the past. And even the simple act of going into nature can be absolutely restabilizing for us, because the first human beings on this planet were very connected to nature and the elements, and it was fundamental to our well-being, let's say, and it is still today. It's just that we've forgotten a lot. So I think another component of this is that it's really, really important to remember how we are connected with the greater picture and the planet herself. So I'm looking now at these Strength Under Fire and Abundance cards, and I'm seeing that the flowers are growing out of the ground. And this is the springtime cycle, when it's like a new beginning and a rebirth. And the same is happening in this card under the hedgehog. And so I think, it's just a message. We really need to be aware of our surroundings and possibly slow down and reconnect with nature as a form of stability and support for us. So, yeah. Anyway, let's get out some tarot cards and see if we can elaborate on our message. I'd like to get 4 cards out first, please, Spirit. Thank you. Yeah, the message of nature as a foundation, because the hedgehog is actually standing on this ground that's flowering. So let's see. See this one and this one. Okay. Let's see what we have. Okay, we have the 6 of Pentacles. So that's a card of giving and receiving, basically. And here we have a basket of what seems to be fruit at the doorway here. And so not only is it the exchange of abundance, it's the exchange of natural abundance here. So that's really interesting. Okay, we have the Wheel of Fortune, which is a wonderful sign that things are going to be turning around for you, because life is cyclical. You clearly are probably having a little bit of a difficult time, but there's hope on the horizon. This cycle will eventually revolve, and you'll end up on the abundant side, let's say, of the wheel. Okay, what else do we have here? The 7 of Pentacles. Okay, so that is a card of patience and continuing to work on whatever it is that you are doing at the moment. It could be a physical project or a way of being, a way you're trying to navigate your life on a psychological level as well, or on a health level, because the Pentacles suit is dealing often with material things, health, wealth, home, and whatnot. And it could be that you are trying to change your diet a little bit to eat things that are more supportive for your body, or to even understand what those things are, knowing that that will have an effect absolutely on your well-being as well. So that's interesting. We also have the Page of Cups, who is a figure that represents a sort of purity or enthusiasm. And the Page of Cups, especially the inner child, the cups being the emotional suit of the tarot. So reminding us to try and go back to our inner child and nurture ourselves, and again understand things that make us happy. Show the world the real you, for instance. It's been talked a lot about how as people get older, they become more wise, but also more childlike, and they start to return to the innocence of their childhood. And it's really important to remember what our interests and dreams were about when we were younger, because often they have something to teach us now. And the more we accept the inner child within us, the more we are able to show the world the real us, meaning the more authentic you can be, because you're not holding the mask of what is perceived to be the right way to behave or present yourself, let's say. Even the image of the little hedgehog here, who would seem so innocuous and vulnerable, but who indeed is quite triumphant. He's holding the flag with a lion on it, and the lion stands for courage. So again, that Leo energy of being yourself and expressing yourself and having courage and dignity as well by being a true version of yourself. So I think that's really interesting. So for now, the cards are indicating that indeed this is a difficult time, but that through patience and endurance, let's say, things will eventually get better, and you'll find your way, and your luck is going to turn around. Again, also we can see here that it's really important to take into consideration the fact that we are part of a greater whole, and if we can take into consideration this planet herself and the roles humans have had in the past, we can possibly learn from them, and in doing so, we can also harmonize the situation a little bit around us by respecting our humanness and the environment we were born into, basically the natural environment, let's say. So I'd like to get a couple more cards and see what else comes out here. Spirit, 2 more cards, please. Okay, I'm seeing this one and this one. Okay, we have the Hanged Man and the 9 of Swords. Okay, so the 9 of Swords is indicating that you could be really dealing with a lot of anxiety right now. Anxiety and fears, basically. And they can be your anxiety and fears, or they could also be those of the collective, and you're feeling it because we're all connected. I'm getting the goosebumps right now. And so no matter what, we're going to feel on a general level what the rest of humanity is feeling at the moment, whether we understand it or not. And the 9 of Swords is absolutely a card that's difficult, a card that's expressing pain, a painful situation. And so the fact that you got Strength under fire shows that indeed you're really going through this tough time, and I'm sorry for that. The Hanged Man speaks to taking a little bit of time out and pausing to try and get a new perspective, let's say. Sometimes the pause is forced upon you, and sometimes it's your decision, but it's often a wonderful way to be able to detach from what's happening around you and grow, see things in a different way, in a new way, and understand a little bit more of what your path forward might be. So it's really important to actively slow down and be more open to receiving our messages from our intuition. And this can possibly and very successfully be done as well in nature, if you're able to get out into nature or to go to a park, or even just sometimes putting on an audio recording of nature sounds. I do this a lot myself. It really serves to help you ground, and it calms down your nervous system. Let's see. I feel like a couple more cards would help us out to see if we can understand anything else about the situation or how to navigate it and how to restabilize our energy. I mean, I can clearly see here, I feel confident in saying that I think things will get better. That is the natural tendency in life. After a long winter, you have spring where the flowers are in bloom and everything always turns around. But maybe just a little bit more information. Let's see. 2 more cards, please, Spirit. Okay. And 2. Okay. So we have the Page of Swords. And we have the 5 of Pentacles. The 5 of Pentacles is a card that often speaks to feeling left out in the cold, or even physical ailments, let's say, or, having trouble in the financial realm, and it's very stressful. But this picture is so adorable. It looks to be a little koala, and koalas usually climb trees, and basically this tree seems to be dead or dying, and there's a little new tree growing here. So things again will turn around, even though you might be in a situation that feels really, really desperate right now, let's say. Even this card is telling us things will get better. The Page of Swords is speaking to the fact that opportunities will always be coming in as long as you are receptive. The sword suit is the mental suit, and it could be that you're going to receive an idea of a new way to move forward, or something that will help you in your current situation, or that someone will come into your life and present you with an opportunity. And the lightning makes me feel that it could be a quite explosive situation, and therefore you'll understand it immediately, and you can evaluate if you'd like to move forward in that new direction. We need 1 more card, absolutely, in order to see what this could be related to, or what the outcome will be. Thank you, Spirit. Oh, King of Pentacles. Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you. Okay, so everything is going to work out, of course. The King of Pentacles is just the message of somebody who has lived through many challenges in life, of course, and yet is at the top of their game. And he's on top of a mountain, and he's huge. The king, he's enormous. He's I don't know if you can see this. He's huge. He's like bigger than everything around him. So the amount of influence he has in his own life and the leadership quality he has are tremendous. So it could be that you're going to be receiving after let's back up for a second. So I'm drawn back to the finding the path. Basically, it looks as though your situation can be described as very stressful. You're not sure what direction to go in. There's a lot of chaos around you, and it would really be beneficial for you to slow down and reconnect with nature. Remind yourselves to be open to your intuition, to any subtle messages that come to you when you're in a more calm, receptive state, and not forced. Sometimes these messages come to us when you're doing the dishes or something, or when you're tying your shoes, I mean, literally, they can come at any moment. It's just a moment where your defenses are down and you're more open and you receive them. You can hear them, let's say. And to know that miracles are a normal function of the universe and life around us. To be gentle with ourselves in understanding who we are and what it is we truly want. And then try to have the courage to show the world the real you. And that some sort of message or opportunity, clarity will come through to you eventually, and it will probably be a new path to abundance. And the Pentacles suit is also, it talks about the material, but it can be Earth, it can be the actual planet around us. And I really get strong vibes that nature is so, so important to help you navigate this time. Well, it's also the tarot deck that I chose, but I did that intuitively. I think I knew that we needed to bring nature in. But that anyway, taking into consideration nature and our ancestors and different ways of living that are more in harmony with the environment and with others will probably be the path to success in your life. So we don't need to get ahead of ourselves, but things will get easier, and you do have plenty of positive cards here. So I feel pretty relaxed in telling you, I think it's going to get easier. Just stay open and be kind with yourself and take nature and relaxation into consideration and keep trying to be patient and know that you will have that new perspective soon. And so things will become more clear. And anyway, in any event, I really wish you the best of luck during this chaotic period. We're all going through it in one way or another, and the collective as a whole is really, really suffering at the moment. But I feel that it's all a natural process of breaking down the old systems and ways of living and bringing in something new and fresh and young and healthier. So let's try and stay positive and look towards a beautiful, improved future. And if this reading resonated with you, please like the video and comment below. That would be wonderful to share anything that you feel comfortable sharing. Also, please subscribe. Obviously, that would be a great help. And if you'd like to see another reading, that way you'll more likely find the video. So, best of luck, and I'll see you in the next reading. Bye, card choice number 1. Hi, card choice number 2. You've chosen the Sanctuary card. It seems to be 3 little beavers in a river collecting fish and collaborating together to have their meal. It's been paired with the heart charm that says love on it, and that seems pretty self-explanatory. They seem to be in a relationship, and we'd like to think love is part of it. Love is part of so much in our life. And I'm also noticing that the card number is 11, and 11 is a master number, and it signifies a very strong connection to spirit. So I feel like somehow that's a message as well. And I'm also seeing that it's a Cancer too, so the second decan of Cancer. And according to the card in the Oracle deck that explains themes for every decan, the one for Cancer too is safe haven, protect and foster, and creative collaboration. So I'd like to get some more cards out, some more Oracle cards, and then some tarot cards out for our reading about how to restabilize ourselves in these very turbulent times. Let's see what Spirit has to communicate with us. Okay, I'll start with this deck. I'd like to get a couple of these cards out. Okay, I'm seeing this card and this card. Okay. Okay, I'd like to get out a card from this Moonology deck. This card. An angel card. here. One of these cards, please. Good. Okay, it's going to be this one. And lastly, I'd like to get one of these cards. Okay, I'll take this one. Great, so let's see what we have. Okay, exactly. This is indeed what we'd like to do right now. We'd like to restabilize ourselves in this chaos. So that is totally on point. And the other Sacred Destiny card is protection. So that's wonderful. There seems to be a tree that is, I hope not, receiving lightning bolts, but the land below will be safe and protected, I suppose. Anyway, in any event, there's a storm here too. These times are extremely turbulent. And this is why I was drawn to this reading today, because Spirit was saying it's helpful to know how to restabilize yourself in these times, just some more techniques. And I'm finding that I'm drawn to these readings lately. I really feel this need to harmonize situations, or at least give people some hope and encouragement on ways to do this. Because I know I myself have been looking for ways to calm my nervous system down as well, because I'm very sensitive as well, and I'm really feeling it both in my internal life and in the external world. So yeah. Okay, let's see here. It's time to take action. Interesting. New moon in Aries. Okay. And we have forgiveness and understanding. And this makes a lot of sense because I'm drawn back to the heart charm and love. And I think a huge component of a way that we can navigate these times is to remember that we are part of a greater whole, and that everything that happens to us, that we perceive happening to us, is really happening through us, in the sense that we can learn something from it. And in fact, we often or always draw situations to us as traumatic as they are, because in the end we will have the opportunity to move through, to process the feelings, move through it, and learn something. And I'm remembering also there's a quote that says something along the lines of, everything in your life on the outside is a projection of what you have on the inside. And I don't think it's really in a way that's totally obvious. I think that everyone has themes in their subconscious that can always be worked through. And even if we don't identify as somebody who's doing cruelty outright to humanity, like a lot of the people that we're seeing in the news, or, also the way certain politicians are behaving, or wherever it might be, it's not that we think that we have this problem ourselves. It's that somewhere within us, whether it's in another life, or, a past life, a parallel life, or in our ancestral DNA, somewhere this theme has gotten stuck or blocked, and it's stuck within us in our subconscious. So it's just a nice way to look at life and take more personal responsibility for our reactions, let's say, because we're not victims. And when we realize that we can try to understand the motives for reactions that we have, it's easier to forgive, let's say. It definitely is easier to forgive. So let's see what else. Okay, we have C, plumbing the depths. Okay, more or less, this is speaking to what I was just saying, I believe. It's having the courage to go deep within and see the patterns that are hidden within our self-conscious, or at least be open to doing so. Not to run away from our feelings, because our feelings can teach us so much. And really, by feeling them, eventually we are freeing ourselves. And these are lessons that usually don't represent after you've worked through them on a deep level. So I think that has a lot to do with it. And the last card, the Sentinel. Let's see if you can see. New opportunities shall manifest in unexpected ways. Well, that's wonderful. Thank you. Because, wow, the power here is quite something. We go from a card that seems to be animals working together for their best good, there's love involved, to seeing a chaotic tornado cloud, even though there are butterflies on the outside of it, butterflies are symbols of transformation. So this reminds me of the Tower card in the tarot, where sometimes things just your foundations just need to come crashing down in a metaphoric sense in order to be rebuilt in a new and more healthy, let's say, way. So yeah, it's time to take action, to looking at our deepest secrets and fears, to being protected, and to having the advice to forgive and understand. So we have really got a huge variety of very powerful themes here, and I can't wait to see what the tarot has to tell us. So let's draw some cards out. Let's see here. Spirit, can I get 4 cards out to start with, please? Ways to restabilize ourselves in this explosive energy, and the message that goes along with it. Okay, let's see here. 1, 2, 3, and I'm feeling this one. 4. Okay, let's see what we have. Ace of Thunder. Well, more thunder, more lightning, right? The Ace of Thunder is the Ace of Swords in a traditional deck, and this has to do with an opportunity or a spark of clarity. Let's say a new idea, something explosive that captures our attention, and with that energy, we're able to move into something new. So that's interesting. Then we have the 4 of Cups, the 9 of Cups, and the Hanged Woman. Okay, the Hanged Woman, or man, in a traditional deck, came out also in pile 1. And this is all about basically a pause, whether it's a pause that is self-inflicted or whether you're forced to pause and to go within, stay calm, and eventually see your situation from a new perspective. It's depicted quite straightforwardly here. She's hanging upside down. You see things from a new perspective when you're forced to look at them from the opposite direction, let's say. So that's really interesting. Then we have the 4 of Cups, and this is often a card of feeling a little bit uninterested or jaded, in the sense that you're kind of almost bored. Perhaps you need a change, perhaps you need a new opportunity. And in more traditional Rider-Waite-Smith decks, the 4 of Cups is usually depicted as somebody sitting in a pose like this, looking a little bit bored, but with a hand holding a cup, and they're just not seeing it. All they need to do is turn around to see the opportunity. So I think that these can kind of be supporting each other, in the sense that if you turn your head, if you're willing, you can see the opportunity coming in. And then the 9 of Cups is telling us that there is an energy here of you receiving what it is you think you desire, or whatever it is that you feel would make you happy, and that you can relax into that and enjoy it eventually. So let's ask the tarot some more questions about how that might happen, or what type of idea might come to mind, or what direction you're taking. Oops, this already came out. And one more card, please, Spirit. I'll take this one. Okay. So we have the 3 of Wands and the 5 of Wands reversed. Okay, that's interesting. It's the only reverse card, and actually this is a good indication that a situation that you're most likely in currently, involving other people, will most likely come to an end soon. Whatever conflict you're going through, probably in your immediate world, will be resolved in some way. So that's wonderful. And then the Three of Wands is, so these two cards are the Wand suit. These are your desires and your ambitions, and they are ruled by the fire element. So this is action. And again, I'm remembering that it says it's time to take action. Well, it could be that you already have started to take action and you're running up against some resistance, let's say, or other people are taking action as well and you're not finding common ground. But the Three of Wands is talking about how you have made a plan and now you can start to see how to put this plan into action. So this is a supportive energy. Let's get a couple more cards. I'm seeing here, new opportunities shall manifest in unexpected ways. And I'm thinking it could be, we saw here the lightning bolt that comes to the person, they're receiving the lightning bolt, which is probably the burst of clarity or idea, and that there's a rainbow. So rainbows always are very hopeful. Rainbows come out after the rain when the sun comes out, and then it produces this beautiful spectrum of color. So indeed, I'm sure that it is very possible that you will have new opportunities coming to you in unexpected ways and bringing positive results, let's say, because we saw that with the Nine of Cups. So a couple more cards, please, Spirit. Wait, they're just jumping out right away, right away today, before I'm even able to finish my sentence. That's a beautiful card to come out, by the way, and it's reminding me a lot of our indicator card in the beginning, the Sanctuary card. And this card is the Five of Thunder. Okay, well, let me start with the Five of Thunder. So the Five of Thunder is the Five of Swords, and this is another card that indicates that you're in a situation that possibly you feel you're unsafe in. There's aggression, there's tension, and so this is a different type of depiction. It looks like the fox is stealing the twigs or whatever from the woman and thinking about himself. This is the energy of the Five of Swords. So it's extremely uncomfortable, and I'm sorry about that. But you got the Three of Cups, and the Three of Cups is a card, again, the cup suit. So again, the emotional suit. And it's speaking to working together in collaboration and being happy, finding common ground, and helping each other. And basically, your Sanctuary card was saying a similar thing. So I think that a lot of the stress in your life at this time is emotional and has to do with other people. But if you can find a way to see the situation from another perspective and try to determine what you can learn from it, and then try and forgive everyone involved. And this doesn't always mean forgiving other people. It also means forgiving yourself. And forgiveness is not about saying something is okay, because sometimes someone's behavior is really not okay. It's hurtful. But it's about trying to realize that we're all human and we all have insecurities and weaknesses, basically. And, sometimes people are unable to recognize this in themselves or don't want to recognize it in themselves. So they act in a way to hurt somebody else to kind of feel more powerful or stable. And if we understand that, it's easier to forgive, because we've all been in a situation where we feel insecure or at a disadvantage. And, it's painful to be in that state. So sometimes if we just look at it from the standpoint of I mean, it's so hard to express myself, and this might be part of the message. I think there's some confusion here, and I think we can easily say that because we're seeing all sorts of different themes going on. But nevertheless, I'm just feeling like sometimes if you try and see another person's behavior for what it really stems from, which is a feeling of insecurity or being unlovable or self-loathing or whatever, you can have a little bit more compassion for the reason why it might have happened. And that does not mean accepting it as okay, because it's not okay a lot of the time. It's simply not. But if we forgive them, we can, and ourselves for the same reasons, if the situation is our situation, we can release that energy and that stress from our body and our field, and it helps us to be free and move on in a healthier, more balanced way. So it's really important. My stomach is making noise. I hope you can't hear it on camera. Okay, looking back at the cards here. So there also seem to be themes here that are mental as well, and also action-oriented. So there's a lot of, as I said before, there's a lot of confusion and chaos. And so you basically are having to work through a variety of different situations. And here the cards are really just saying that if you can find a sanctuary in some close relationships you have and try and remember to work towards something together or to support each other, and if there is some pain or tension, to forgive it, to understand it and forgive it, that will help on one front, let's say. And then also to know that you're protected. So you're protected by your guides, you're protected by source, and to have faith in that, because that's huge and so important. And that no matter the chaos that you're feeling now with this variety of different situations, things will get easier eventually, because you will have some sort of opportunity coming to you, or an idea or a burst of clarity that you can then act on. And new opportunities shall manifest in unexpected ways, and it's time to take action. So that's a logical progression. And so it's quite straightforward. I kind of want to also read this card just to see if it can give us a little bit more information. This C, number 8. And by the way, 8 is the number of strength in the tarot. So I think that is a message in and of itself, to have strength. Okay, plumbing the depths. The sea is so changeable that it's impossible to really anticipate its moods. The sea is continuously in motion, ebbing and flowing, shifting from tide to tide. On a stormy day, it's intimidating, a reminder of the raw, unpredictable power of this beautiful, animate earth we inhabit. On a bright summer's day, when the sun warms the shallows and the light sparking off the water lifts our spirits, we might remember that it's the home from which we originally came. Whatever face it might turn to us, the essence of the sea is the depth of its waters. Okay, well, first of all, it's telling us precisely what I was saying, that there are different aspects to your life at the moment. There are positive aspects, and there are tense aspects, and to respect it all, because it's all a natural part of life, let's say. Whatever face it might turn to us, the sea we're talking about, the essence of the sea is the depth of its waters. This card encourages us to go deep, even if we're afraid there might be monsters. There are times when we need to step out of the shallows of life and plumb the depths, to turn inward and find the source of wisdom, also this card, that lies deep within us. To make that choice, we need courage, and courage is the number 8. I love how everything is just so wonderfully synchronistic. Inside each of us, there's a vast and deep terrain, and to begin to understand who we really are, what our gifts are, and what we might dream of becoming in this life, we need to begin to explore it. And this is an important message too, and I'm not really seeing any evidence directly here, but I think that in these times of so much change and chaos in the world around us, it's important also to know ourselves And a great way to do that is to not only to go within and try and receive messages through meditation or walks in nature or any sort of meditative practice that you might do, whether it be knitting or while you're washing the dishes or taking a shower, because water is a beautiful conduit for divine messages. Just to try and understand what it is that you truly want, and to give love to our inner child as well, because our inner child has wonderful messages for us. Think about when you were a kid, what were you interested in? And maybe try and break it down into themes instead of precise practices, let's say. And you can get to know yourself on another level. It's absolutely, it's so helpful, and it's nurturing. It helps us grow. It's like another part of us, the part that actually runs the show in the subconscious. So it's really, really crucial. We need to move out of the safe shallows of the ego and our conscious mind and turn our attention to all that remains hidden within us and is unconscious. Dreams are one of the most important ways that our unconscious psyche can communicate with us. And so the C card invites us above all to pay attention to our dreams, to the images and characters and scenarios which present themselves to us while we're sleeping. And that is an excellent point. Our dreams do tell us so much. They could be totally strange and seemingly unimportant, but whatever component is actually in there that you remember the next day, it might even just come to you at a fleeting moment during the day, has meaning. And something I love to do is when I do remember, because I remember my dreams, but not every night. And I tend to remember the dreams that are a little stranger because they're making an impression on me while I'm asleep, and somehow those are easier to remember. So say there's some sort of animal in the dream or something behaving in a certain way. The first thing I do when I remember about the animal is look it up on the internet to see what the spirit message is. And already that usually gives me all sorts of information. And it's kind of a starting off point to examine the other, even if there are very few components of the dream that you remember. And it's really cool. It's wonderful. So let's see if the tarot wants to just give us one more message with a final card here. Spirit, can we have one more card? Just to kind of finish this reading. Okay, that's the card. And we have the Flower of Wands. That's beautiful. This is the Queen of Wands. And this is perfect because the Queen of Wands is, well, first of all, being a queen, she has tons of experience and she's learned a lot in her life and she's gotten to know herself really well. She's also very charismatic, so she's unafraid to actually express herself. And this is a beautiful message of how if you follow the path, you follow the signs in life, you work through things, you try not to take things too seriously, you allow insights to come in, you pay attention, you try to recognize things, and you act on new ideas, take into consideration your relationships with others. You will eventually get to the point where you will be so self-confident and so sure of the beauty of your life that it will have all been worth it, even though it's a very painful process. And so that's incredibly positive. And I love that this is a crow or a raven. More or less, they have a similar message. They are bridges to other realms and so to other dimensions. And so there's a spiritual message here. And I think that if we understand that a lot of life is unseen to us, and yet it's when we start to recognize the unseen or start to see the signs and synchronicities that life becomes richer and it makes more sense. So I think that's really beautiful. And so this was, looking back, it's a hard time. I mean, clearly there's a variety of uncomfortable things happening at the moment. But you also have all these positive cards that are talking about your collaboration with others that you care about being able to work through issues by diving deep and processing your emotions in order to understand and forgive, and be open to new ideas and follow through with a plan, and you'll eventually start to see your plan in action, and that you will get to a point where you feel very satisfied and happy about your life and more relaxed and able to enjoy the beauty around you, and that all this is absolutely possible for you. You are the Queen of Wands. You can absolutely get to a state of more power and faith in things working out around you. So I wish you the best of luck. I hope this resonated with you. If it did, please like the video and comment in the comment section. That'll help the other commenters, comment readers. It'll help my channel. Any support of yours can help, and I truly appreciate it. Also, subscribing to the channel if you're interested in seeing another reading and in the future. And I wish you the best of luck. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next reading. Bye, card choice number 2. Hi, card choice number 3. You've chosen the Weather the Storm card. It has a beautiful stag, a symbol of strength, nobility, a leader. The card is Decan 3 of the Zodiac sign Taurus, and the sheet that comes along with the card deck says that this decan speaks to turbulent times, always being prepared, and warding against misfortune. So we're definitely understanding that it's a tough time, that things are very difficult right now, unfortunately. The card is card number 6, and 6 is a number that deals with responsibility in relationships and love. So it could be that some of these issues are on a personal level or on an emotional level that have to do with relationships with others. And the charm paired with it is the umbrella, which is so perfect to weather the storm, and you already have a tool to help you weather the storm, so that's a positive sign right off the bat. I'm seeing also that there seems to be a really bright star or planet here, and I think that could symbolically speak to guidance. It seems that the stag is looking towards the star, and he can weather the storm because at least he knows that he wants to move in a certain direction. So that's really cool. Let's see what other oracle cards have to tell us, and then we'll move into the tarot. Again, for this message about how to stabilize yourself in these turbulent times, these times on Earth, which are extremely challenging. So many people are finding themselves struggling a lot. So let's see what the cards have to tell us. Spirit, can I please have 2 cards in this deck? Okay. Oh, those are 2 cards. Wonderful. Okay, they already jumped out face up, so there's not much suspense, but we'll get to the meanings later. Okay, can I get 1 card from this deck, please? Okay, that's the card. Thank you. And I'd like to get a card from this deck. Okay, let's see this card here. Then I'd like to get a card from this deck. Okay, wonderful. It's already flipped over for us. And then I'd like to get a card from this deck. This is the card, evidently. Okay, so let's have a look at what we have here. Okay, so the first cards out were leadership and inner peace. Well, with leadership, I see immediately that I had already mentioned this with the stag, because the stag is basically the king of the forest, and he's a natural leader. So this might be a quality in yourself that could benefit from coming out even more. So we'll see. And inner peace is crucial, obviously, to stabilizing ourselves, because we need to soothe our nervous system, and in order to be less reactive to the challenges that are happening around us. So that makes a lot of sense. And this card has 2 koi fish on it, and that makes me think of abundance as well. So it could be a message that the more we can find our inner peace, the more abundance can come in. So it's something to take into consideration. Then you have look at the bigger picture, full moon in Sagittarius. So it could be that at this moment in time, things are happening around you that that are very specific and are triggering you in some way. But if you're able to step back and try and see the context around it, or what the possible outcome could be after the turmoil, that could be really helpful. And I'm thinking immediately about how, the collective is really struggling a lot lately. I mean, it's never been easy, and there's always been turmoil and conflict on the planet. But now it just seems like every single area of life is kind of losing its mind. I mean, we have, I want to be careful here, because I don't want to alienate anybody, but it seems to me that politics, there have always been issues with politics on this planet, as long as we know, in the sense that there are always people that want to be in power, that have a vision for the planet and want to behave in ways to ensure their own power, let's say. And this is becoming more and more obvious on the planet now. And it's very frustrating if you're a citizen and not actually part of this hierarchy, let's say, because you can feel like a victim, or you can feel the injustice in the situation. But the fact that, looking at the bigger picture, the fact that the systems are breaking down, this information is coming out, and people are getting more and more scared, angry, frustrated, and springing to action in protest, let's say, means that things are going to change. Because basically we're hitting a low right now. And whenever you hit a low, you always re-rise and rise to a high. That's a cycle of life, and the cycle of life works on every level. So, like for instance, when a forest burns down in a forest fire, that's totally tragic. But the soil has minerals in it that actually help new growth to occur, and things can get reborn and regrow. And sometimes we need to hit a low before we hit a high. Or sometimes in our life when we're having the hardest time, like we're having a dark night of the soul, so to say, that's always an indication that things are about to turn around again, because of the cycle of life. So looking at the bigger picture is really important, instead of getting caught up in the details and I'm right and you're wrong, or this or that. Try to understand the whole situation and know that it will eventually change, and it will most probably be positive change. So because we'll be forced to find new ways to lead and to behave as a society. Okay, let's see here. Oh, wow, we just got the same card in card choice number 2. And so I'm seeing that there are definitely crossover themes here. If in case you were drawn to any other card, you might want to read those, watch those readings as well. This card is C, Plumbing the Depths. And it speaks to basically not being afraid to try and unearth your true feelings and work through them, because we can't go through life with blinders on. We really need to feel in order to release. And by doing so, we'll be growing. So, and that's absolutely fundamental. Okay, then we have Strange Journeys. Take control of your quest. Choose your companions wisely. So it could be that at this moment you are feeling a little bit uncertain about the people around you that are in your life at the moment, that are perhaps it's in work environment or in friend environments or in any other ways. Also on a more broad level, like people that you might follow, mentors, information coming from specific sources in the media, or it could be that as well. And it's basically speaking to the fact that you would benefit from examining how you feel about these connections, because quite possibly they could be one of the reasons you're feeling held back or under stress at the moment. And then we have romance and connection. So love seems to be a component. The love theme seems to be a component in your life at the moment that is weighing on the way you're feeling and the way you're processing your stress, let's say. Because this whole reading is going to be about ways to restabilize your energy so that you can deal with these tumultuous times, whether they be internal in your personal life or external in the collective life, or both. So let's see what the tarot has to tell us, and we can learn some more about the situation. Spirit, can I please have 4 cards? 4 cards about restabilizing in these tumultuous times, or the reasons for this stress in the first place. I'm seeing 1 card here, 2, 3, and 4. Let's see what we have here. The Chariot. Okay, this is a beautiful card speaking to the power that you have to move forward in your own life, and that through determination and commitment you can find positive results, and also perhaps by balancing the light and the dark, or making sure that you understand that everything has an influence over everything else. So let's see what else here. Okay, we have the King of Cups with control. That's an interesting word to put with the King of Cups, because control sounds a little bit rigid, and the King of Cups is really the king who is very compassionate and understanding. And so control sounds, maybe it speaks to controlling your emotions so they don't get too out of balance. But I think that this too needs to be said, that sensitivity is actually a gift, because the more capacity you have to feel, the more you can understand things from another perspective, the more you can empathize, and the more gentle you can be as a consequence, I believe. So, but this is a beautiful energy to have here. Then we have the Moon. Okay, the Moon is definitely the depths in the sea, plumbing the depths card. The Moon speaks to what's hidden, basically, and what's scary or what's nebulous in your life, and a need to not be too afraid to actually examine some of these themes so that you can work through them and become stronger. And then we have the Ten of Cups. That's so beautiful. By doing this, you will eventually get to your Ten of Cups, which is your ideal relational situation. The cup suit has to do with relationships, emotion, love, whatnot. So, and I'm seeing this theme here that has to do definitely with relationships and other people in your life. And I think that it's going to be absolutely crucial for you to examine how you're feeling about particular situations, not only to understand what relationships can be mutually beneficial and help both of you evolve, but who to let go of if there are toxic imbalances, for instance, or if you're examining yourself and how you feel about a situation and you're understanding that perhaps if you had reacted in a different way, things might have gone differently. This is just as crucial, absolutely. And that by doing this, you will get to a state of harmony, which is this 10 of Cups. And so that's wonderful. Let's get a couple more cards out, Spirit, and see if we can get some more information. No matter what, seeing the leadership and the King card, no matter what, it seems that life is calling you to step up into a leadership position at this moment in time. So not to play small, basically. Okay, oh my goodness. And there we have another King, so that makes perfect sense. And the key word here is leadership, precisely that. So I definitely feel that is a theme that is really important for you in these chaotic times. It could be basically understanding and feeling the discomfort, and unfortunately so, but we all are to a certain degree, and most all of us are feeling it both in our inner life and in the outer world. But understanding, looking at it, and trying to learn from it, and then understanding ways that we can step up and try and change it, or try and take a new direction with our chariot, and how to, what to build, like how to move forward in a new way with more strength and leadership power. Again, I'm seeing here weathered the storm, and we have this beautiful stag who's the king of the forest. So you definitely are a strong person. You have this innate strength within you. It's all about claiming it. There's also actually the leadership card. So this is fundamental to you. You're a very powerful soul, and these tumultuous times are a call to action for you to move forward in your leadership and have faith in that. And then we have the Six of Cups with innocence. It's another Cups card. So there's definitely something going on in your life that has to do with relationships at the moment. But the Six of Cups is lovely because it's speaking to, well, the key word here says innocence. It's speaking to imagination and sometimes looking at the past and remembering how beautiful it was. But I think this can actually be inspiration for us towards the future. A lot of us grew up in times that were easier, or at least felt easier to us, in the sense that there wasn't so much going on. There were no, for instance, when I was a young kid, there were no cell phones or anything. And we spent a lot of time outside, a lot of time being creative. We also spent a lot of time being independent because our parents were often working, and we were the generation called the latchkey children, Gen X. Not a forgotten generation at all, a crucially important generation that basically bridged the old traditional ways and the newer ways, by bridging between the boomers and the millennials and the Zs and whatnot. So it was a really crucial generation. I feel like I need to shout out and say that. We get a bad rap. But anyway, sometimes we tend to, or you, whoever, tends to look back at the childhood and think, oh, it was so much easier. I wish it were that easy now. But in a way, it could be inspiration for us. It could be inspiration for us to try and find more simplicity in our life. I mean, in the end, we're very lucky because we have all this information at our disposal with the technological age, and it's wonderful because we're growing intellectually in ways that we were never able to do in the past at the same level. But it's our responsibility to try and consciously choose how much time we want to spend with these tools, these new tools, and how much time we want to spend kind of in the old ways where we get to go outside and play and be creative and imaginative and relax and so it can be inspiration. I just went off on a huge tangent, but I felt it was important in some way to this reading. Let's get another card or two out and just see if there are any closing thoughts here. But it's clear that you are a very strong person who, in these times of chaos, definitely is feeling it on a variety of levels, principally on the emotional level in terms of relationships, and then, you know, possibly in understanding ways to move on in your life. But most of your reading is the Cup suit, and this speaks to relationship. We have the romance and connection. This could also be your partner, you and your partner. It could be that these stressful times are actually weighing on your relationship with your partner. And this is a beautiful card because they have their hands pressed together and they're generating this beautiful orb of energy. And then the inner peace card also has two fish together. So I think that a key to your success will also be the relationship you might have, this principal relationship you might be in at the moment. It might be a partner, it might be like, you know, a sibling or a very close friend or a parent, but that's important. Anyway, let's see what else, if there's anything else the tarot would like to explain or draw our attention to. Okay, well, absolutely. Let me get one more and then I'll explain. Okay, thank you. Another king. I'm feeling this energy. It's like it's taking my breath away. Okay, we got the Nine of Swords, which is the card of fear and anxiety. So it's not just that you're feeling stress, it's that you're feeling a lot of stress and possibly getting overwhelmed, and that it might be affecting your relationships. And this is happening to many at the moment. The tension outside is bringing tension inside, and it's really, really challenging because we need to support each other. This is a crucial time where we need our family, our soul family. We need our support system, and so we shouldn't be turning against each other unless there's really something that can't be worked out after we've examined it for a really long time. But anyway, I'm sorry, because clearly it's obvious that it's a really tough, and it's been tough for every pile here, every reading. And I mean, I can see it's tough in my life, absolutely. It's tough in everyone I know's life, basically. It's just we're in this monumental moment on Earth where everything is coming out, where we're receiving all this beautiful, really high vibrational energy, whether it be from like solar flares or star races, and you know, whatever the origin is, it's coming. And what is that doing? With more light, it's shining light on the dark, and so the ugly is coming out. And so, so it's this powerful time where there's like all these highs and all these lows, and yeah, it's overwhelming. It really is. So it's super helpful to understand some ways to be able to calm ourselves down. I'm definitely the first person to admit that. Here we have the King of Swords with authority. It looks like you really need to not play small anymore. It looks like you would really benefit from understanding what it is you want, understanding who is important to you in your life, and vice versa, you know, in a balanced, harmonious way, and move forward together and lead the way. So you have here, I mean, this is incredible. Let's recap 1 second. You have the Stag, who's the King of the Forest. You have the Leadership card. You have the Chariot, where you are the person who directs your life. You have the King of Cups, the King of Wands, and the King of Swords. So if this isn't a call for you stepping into your leadership role, whatever that means to you, whether it just be on a smaller scale, like in your family life, and moving forward with a plan of maybe you need to move, or you think you need to move, then, you know, taking the reins and deciding, okay, so let's go on this adventure. Let's look for a new home or a new place to live. Or whether it be that you want to start a new project, whatever it is, Spirit is telling you, claim your authority, your leadership, because you are powerful, and it's a waste to let that go. We need more people like you who can step up and lead the way. And so please do. Please have faith and understand that you can do it. This is, I don't think I remember the last time I had a reading where there was so much leadership energy here. Spirit is just calling and yelling to you to claim your power. So please step into your power. Have faith. It'll all work out. Look at the bigger picture, and try not to be afraid. Try to understand that there's a reason you're here, and you can really help bring positive change to this planet. So it says, take control of your quest, choose your companions wisely. So just keep that into consideration. But life is an adventure. Take the reins. So anyway, I hope this helped you or resonated in some way. And if it did, can you please like the video? I'd really appreciate it. And or comment, subscribe. Anything you feel called to do will absolutely help others and myself. And this is a brand new channel that is struggling to get underway, as is the usual case here on YouTube in the beginning. So I would greatly appreciate any support that you feel called to give. And I wish you the best of luck. You definitely have success in you. You can do it. The 10 of Cups. This is your ultimate situation in life. And it will be harmonious. So good luck, and thank you so much for being here. And I'll see you next time. Bye, card choice number 3.